create a script for a 20-minute usability test. Developed a moderator script, and if you hope to do unmoderated, you could do both certainly, but having the moderator script would help you build the unmoderated test as well. There's going to be a brief introduction with consent language, whether it is general consent or whether it's consent to record, consent to use findings. If you've already done that somehow, maybe through a screener, you may not have to voice it here. But it's good to think through that and have the consent language and point to other documents that may support this discussion guide to keep your research project, your research initiative tied together so that people can easily navigate it. Take those 2 or 3 tasks related to the selected feature or features and outline them, and then go through and literally script how you might go through that. And as you do that, start to think about how you could create bullet points to help guide you through that. It's a very important thing to do to have this set up, because you want to make sure that you ask all the questions you need to, that you cover all the topics that you need to, because sometimes users will veer off and they will answer some of your questions before you intended them to, and that way you can just check them off instead of going back and asking that same question. Have some follow-up questions per task just to uncover user thinking. And initially it's good to say, hey, could you think aloud during this, and maybe describe what that looks like. But at a minimum, have at least 3 follow-up questions per task just to uncover what they're thinking. And then also have a section, if you are actively taking notes, where you can take note of things that they did that you want to follow up on so that they can stay in flow. Maybe they clicked on something that seemed odd, but they kept moving forward and you don't want to interrupt them. There'll be good space to say, well, I noticed that you did this. Could you tell me more about that? And then short wrap up for overall impressions and any sort of follow-up. So this would be a moment to thank them for participating in the study and telling them how valuable it was for you to be there with them. Also, if for some reason in the future you're supporting them with gift cards or some sort of reward, it's a good time to wrap up details at this moment at the end. But just think about through everything that you might say, all the points that you need to cover, and try to document them in a meaningful way that provides a tool for you to use while you're having this discussion. Because when you're in the usability test, you should be actively listening and asking these questions so that you can have a meaningful conversation and address things as they surface, instead of just being there as an automated prompt that asks them question after question. So I look forward to seeing everyone's discussion guides. These are fun. In many ways, they're super subjective and personal to the person conducting the test or the people conducting the test, because they are a combination of all the things you need to cover and a way of communicating those that supports you in doing this work. So it'd be interesting to see how everyone pulls these together.